parents, and they join us now from their home in Plainview on Long Island. Orna and Ronan, it's always bittersweet to see you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Thank you, Josh.
Good evening.
So, there's a lot going on right now, obviously. I mean, there's always a lot going on in the Middle East, especially in the last 10 months. But with the talks that are supposed to resume tomorrow, we know Hamas has said it won't even attend. How optimistic are you that there will be a resolution?
Josh, we have to be optimistic. It's 313 days today, as you know, we wear on our chest every day. We count the days. The Biden administration has put so much effort into bringing the parties together tomorrow. We really, really hope and we pray that the parties come to the table, that they do what's needed in order to reach this agreement to conclusion, bring this to conclusion finally, and start getting the hostages out. They've been there for 313 days since the attack on October 7th. It's just crazy.
Could you talk a little bit about the last few weeks? There's been this agreement, one of many, by the way, that have been supposedly close to a resolution. And then, in the last couple of weeks, Israel, made a few very high-profile assassinations of, Hezbollah and Hamas leaders, one of them right in the middle of Tehran, angering Iran, and now things are that much more tense. And I guess I'm wondering, from your perspective, when you see what's going on with the potential for a hostage release deal and a ceasefire, and when you see things like that happen, how do you respond to that?
I want to remind all the viewers that we are dealing with a terrorist group. On October 7, this terrorist group, Hamas, attacked Israel in a ceasefire situation, killed 1,200 people, murdered 45 Americans, and at this point, we are trying to negotiate with them. Israel is trying to negotiate with them. United States, Qatar, and Egypt are all trying to bring Hamas and Israel to the table to try a conclusion. It's time. It's 313 days. It's so much time. We have no idea whether our son, what's his condition. We want to hope that he's alive. We are fighting the fight to get him back, put pressure not only on Hamas, but also on the Netanyahu administration in Israel to come to a deal, to understand that you have to negotiate with the devil. This is a terrorist group. It's terrible, but 220 people were taken. Right now, 115 are still left there, among them 8 Americans. And 5 are considered to be alive. It's time.
Josh, I think this is an opportunity. I'm sorry. We see this as an opportunity. There's been so much escalation. There's an opportunity to de-escalate the whole region. All parties have an interest in that. And we're really hoping that they seize this opportunity and not any other option.
You both spoke a couple of weeks ago at the Republican National Convention. I believe we have video of you speaking, and I know next week there's at least one other family, the Goldberg-Poland family, who are going to be attending the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. I know that must be a fraught decision to make, with politics being so difficult domestically. Could you talk a little bit about how that plays into the family's needs right now for publicity and for making sure that your family members are remembered and are at the forefront of the priority list?
We are really non-political people, right? All the hostage families are completely acting in a bipartisan fashion. So yes, we went to the RNC, and yes, we are going to the DNC, and we're speaking to all the politicians. We're trying to affect everybody. We're speaking to both sides of the aisles, also to all people in the United States. And we're reminding them that this is a humanitarian crisis. And the only way to resolve it, as Orna said, is to get to a ceasefire, bring the hostages back, and bring some calm to the region that has been on fire for 10 months. So from our perspective, it's a completely non-political issue, and we're just there because we have the stage.
And it's important to take every stage, including this one. And I want to give you the opportunity. I I gave a very, very brief and probably not nearly sufficient brief rundown of Omer. Tell me about him.
He's really just a great guy. You know, he's very social. He's a good kid. He's a kid that'll do the right thing. Like you said, he moved from Long Island. He was accepted to college already. He had a very comfortable life here. He moved from Long Island because he felt that, his family, his homeland needed his support and his protection. And that's why he did what he did, when he was taken on October 7th. That just shows, a lot about his character. He's always been a leader. He's very athletic, so he was the leader of his basketball, his volleyball, his soccer team in high school. He was a leader here in his youth group. But he's also really just a fun guy to be around, and his friends miss him dearly. Of course, we miss him dearly, and we just pray that he comes home soon.
I know we want to get him back. We want him to continue with his college plans. And as Orna said, American born, with a lot of sense of duty, and volunteering the way he did. And it's just proper to get him back, and we'll fight until we get him back.
And it's important. I know we spoke about this earlier. It is important to point out he wasn't a part of this war. He was manning a post on Israel territory during a time of peace, and he responded to a call for help from a kibbutz that was being overrun, and that's when he was overrun, along with his tank mates.
You're absolutely right. As a first responder, him and his team rushed to the border, trying to stop an infiltration of thousands of terrorists, but they were caught by surprise, and unfortunately he was taken with his team into Gaza. And now it's time to bring them back.
There are quite a few stories like this of Americans who either were, had a few years in Israel or actually made Aliyah, moved to Israel, who, 1 year are graduating from college in the suburbs of some United States city, and 2 years later are in the middle of this nightmare. And Orna and Rona Neutra, it's really, thank you for joining us tonight, and we think nothing of the best for Omer, and hope you get to see him soon.
Critical days ahead, and thank you, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you both. Then as we continue tonight with Eyewitness News Extra.